ever been mad at God? I remember being mad at God a few times as a kid. Times when things didn't go the way that I thought they should. Times when prayers seemingly went unanswered, or when something bad happened to somebody that I loved. I never admitted my anger out loud, though, not to anyone. Somehow it seemed like a terrible thing. I certainly believed that it represented some sort of character flaw in me. I never remember a church leader talking to me about it. I only remember hearing people talking about their relationship with God in positive ways. And I believed if I ever said I was angry with God, that meant that somehow I didn't believe enough. I remember even being afraid of being struck by lightning if I admitted that I was angry with God. When I was in college, I lost a really dear friend of mine in a really senseless and tragic way. Her unexpected death rattled me to the core. And at the time, I was attending a Christian college and was an active leader in campus ministry. And I didn't know how to go on leading because privately, I wasn't entirely sure if I still believed. Our campus pastor during that time asked me to meet with him weekly to talk about what I was thinking and feeling. And I wasn't quite sure why I continued to visit with him. I told myself it was because he gave me phone cards so I could call and be in contact with other friends who were sharing in my grief, which was super helpful for a poor college student. One week during the course of our conversation, I remember him asking me, "Are you angry with God?" I remember catching my breath. No one had ever asked me that question before. I said yes as tears streamed down my face. After what seemed like an eternity of silence, probably only a few seconds, he responded, "Well, good. I can work with that. You can't be angry at someone who doesn't exist, right?" I didn't really know how to respond to that, so I stormed out of his office, and I heard him calling in the background, "See you next week, same time." I told myself I wasn't going to go back, but those words just wouldn't get out of my head. I finally realized he was right, and we spent the next several weeks talking about the fact that I was mad, that I could tell God about how angry I was, and that God could handle my anger. For me, this is absolutely when my relationship with God became real and authentic. It makes sense though, right? Because the people that you love the most, they're the people that can make you the most angry. I love my children with all my heart, but sometimes they make me really mad. And it doesn't for one reason make me love them any less. If you think about a relationship with a friend or a spouse, one very important skill you have to learn is how to deal with them and deal with each other when you're mad. These kind of emotions are normal in relationships, just as they will be normal in your relationship with God. Keeping these feelings bottled up or denying them always causes more problems. Learning that you can be angry with God and the relationship can withstand it is an invaluable lesson and one that we all need to learn and teach our children. If we don't teach them this, and if we don't realize this, we may give up on the relationship when things get tough. This is something that God and I worked out. We love each other, and so I figured out things were just fine. And I will be forever thankful to the people who gave me permission to be real, authentic, and sometimes angry in that relationship.